Hello Worldview 1 class. This is your week 3 homework video. So this week we are doing Church History in Plain Language Chapter 2, so make sure you read through that. And we are also doing the Iliad books 1 through 4. Alright? So basically the first however many pages in Worldviews of the Western World is reading. You go to Greco-Roman Worldview, page 1, read through until page... Well, let's stop real quick. So read through until page 4. On page 4 it says, find a map showing the ancient cities of Troy and Sparta and draw it on your timeline. Remember, you don't need to do the timeline thing, but do look up and see where we think Troy was and where we know Sparta was. We're pretty sure we know where Troy was, but it's kind of mostly a theory. So be sure to do that and then continue on reading through kind of the story, of course, that leads up to the Iliad, until you get to page 8. So stop at page 8, alright? So basically pages 1 through 7 are just reading, as well as that map activity. You don't need to make a map, just look them up online. And then the analyzing literature from a worldview perspective. Read through that page, understand it very clearly. Don't skim through that, don't skim through anything so far. Read it, understand it. And then on page 9, you're going to come back to this page as you are introduced to characters, specifically the gods of the Greeks here. So anytime you encounter something about a god that's new information, go back and write it down. And not so much just biographical information, but more information about their character, what they're like. Okay, and then on the next page, page 10, you have the characters, the Greeks and the Trojans. Also, as you encounter them and you encounter what their character is, write those down. And by character, I mean not just the literary characters, but the moral character that these figures have. Okay, then starting on page 11, you read the Iliad chapter 1, alright? Make sure you do answer all side questions that you see, and you do need to write down a book title for each chapter. Okay, so you make a list of the main characters in book 1, okay, and then you go to the next page, you have some questions that are asked, answer the questions, be sure to do all the side activities unless I say otherwise, okay? On the next page, again, if there's something that's not a question, it's just a statement, write down some comments about that. So for instance, when it says, Hera confronts Zeus, write down what happens there, and anything you can tell about the moral fiber of the gods, goddesses, or humans. Okay, you don't have to do the highlighting in the book unless you want to. If you like to highlight, I recommend it, but it's not required. Be sure to do the other side questions though. You continue moving on, and basically you're going to go through until you get to page 20, the end of page 22. Alright? Basically everything else is just questions and you answering those questions. Remember, you don't need to do any timeline stuff, but unless I've specified otherwise, do all the side questions. And of course, like I said at the beginning of the video, be sure that you do chapter 2 of Church History in Plain Language. Thanks guys, bye.